I was told during an injury years ago, after I had my recovery, I used to be an addict. I'm a recovering addict, and a PT, a physical therapist, told me I'd never walk again. So whether you're 18 trying to figure it out, or you're 65 and you can't move right and you don't know where else to go, you walk through that door. There is a bunch of like different skills and tools we have for you. It's not just one thing.
Like, stop. We're not going to Arlington. We're not going to Ronnie Coleman's house. And then he sends me the whole feed of screenshots. I'm like, I call my wife first.
I'm not coming home.
Yeah. Make sure they leave at least with something that's going to positively motivate them to keep going. And so, or at least leave them with a smile. Like, you know, it's absolutely free to be angry at the world, but it's equally as the same cost is to give somebody some positivity.
But the entire way to the truck, like a whole like 30 yards of carrying it, Lathan manages to step on every pile of dog shit on the way there. It's not one.
What are or have been some of the struggles into the gym?
Started with one squat rack, like 300 pounds in bumper plates, and a couple barbells, and that was it.
Hey, welcome to Too Hard, Too Fast podcast. In this episode, dude, is this Austin or Dripping Springs?
Technically, it's Dripping Springs, but we're in the fine line of Austin and Dripping. So we're kind of in the gray area. But you can say Dripping. Just say Dripping.
Hey, welcome to Too Hard, Too Fast podcast. In this episode, I'm in Austin, Texas at the Kodiak Strength gym with our owner, Ruben Lewis.
You already know me. I don't know. He's the owner. I'm just like the cool guy hanging out as a sidekick.
We have Lathan Hall. He is a friend, but he also is a coach here at the gym. His muscles are bigger than my head, but I'm gonna catch up.
It's the black shirt. It's the black shirt.
That's right. That's why I wore black for this too.
Hell yeah.
Black is slimming.
Well, I was gonna say to hide the panza. We're gonna talk about the gym, its journey, because I was really interested in how you guys got started. You posted some pictures on your social media, and I was like, dang, that's like, I don't want to say like the dream, but that's the dream. Like starting something from and just blowing up is the coolest.
Well, thanks, man. Definitely one of the things I'll tell people is sorry.
That almost made me laugh.
There's nothing. Yeah. Just drink water. Drink plenty of water. We started in a garage. It was a 2-car garage, client's home. It's one of those things that, the dream is there.
Yeah.
You just got to keep going at it. We'll get into it.
We'll get into it. Yeah. But also, like, the stuff that you guys have here. For being, and I don't want to diminish any of it, but a smaller gym or a local gym, you guys have a lot of stuff going on here. Especially when I'll take some video outside so people can see the equipment you have, but the services that you guys are offering, like strength coaching. The one that I really was interested, or that I've never seen before, was like a diabetic exercises.
Yeah, so we actually have a couple coaches that do insulin IQ, and we even have another coach that has cancer certifications for different training programs. So it's not just your run-of-the-mill stuff. We are pretty tailored here.
Yeah, I thought that was, like I said, I've never seen it before anywhere. And I think that's probably the coolest thing from having somebody that's local that can kind of like tailor things to people, is that you're there for the client. More like the big gyms are just like, hey, sign up, you get for $1 for a month, and then whatever.
I mean, we did our best not to be cookie cutter, We are an acquired taste. Yeah. I always tell people we have jail yard equipment, but we have a nice building because we like air conditioning. So, got to kind of have best of both worlds. But the coaches definitely they tailor the programs. We definitely try to stick ourselves out there. So,
well, we're going to get into all that. So let's sit back, buckle up. Let's go too hard, too fast. Hey.
My name's Ruben Lewis. I'm with Kodiak Strength, and we are going too hard, too fast.
Bitch.
Getting started with the gym, why, or what led you to it? Like, did you always want to have a gym? Were you always into like working out?
It's going to be a really long answer. Is that okay?
No, that's perfect.
Okay.
It's a really long podcast.
That's perfect. So, yeah, I've always wanted the gym. But to get it started, I was told during an injury years ago, after I had my recovery, I used to be an addict. I'm a recovering addict. I had a really bad back injury, and I was fixing it, and a PT, a physical therapist, told me I'd never walk again.
Oh,
He's like, you're not going to walk right. You need to just do this. You know what? Get under the knife. I didn't accept that. Funny story, 4 months of forcing myself to get under the barbell, walk, run, just do things. I looked like a crackhead running down the road. It was very hobbling. But when I recovered enough, I went back to that PT and walked through the door and actually tried to tell him, like, hey, you were fucking wrong.
Did you really?
And it was the most awkward moment because he even went, who are you? Because I actually lost a lot of weight too. Okay. So he didn't even recognize me. But it was one of those moments that made me realize, like, I want to do this to help other people. It helped keep me out of my addiction. Cocaine used to be my demon, and a long line of other things too. But it really helped me stay on path. And then it was also, my biggest thing was God found me. I try to say I found God, but it was a little bit of both. And it made me want to help others and keep doing it. As I became a coach, I kept telling my wife too, I'm going to have a gym. I'm going to have a gym. Just give me 5 years. I'm going to have a gym. It took probably about 6 years. And I was in and out of mom and pop shops, corporate gyms, still working construction. I was a billiards technician too. And then finally, we just pulled the trigger and we started Kodiak. And the entire thing behind Kodiak, the name, is in my culture, the Kodiak bear is our guardian. And I try to treat the gym as everyone's guardian. So
what's your culture?
Ottawa Native American. Okay. And it's out of southern Canada, northern Michigan. But I try to treat the gym as everyone's guardian because no matter where you're from, what background you're from, what fitness level you're at, we're here to help. So that's why we tailor everything.
When you were trying to rebuild yourself, what was your goal?
My biggest goal at the time when I got injured was to be able to walk again. I had a family that was coming into my life, my wife, and she came along with my stepdaughter, and I wanted to be the best father I could be. Yeah. And, you know, being strong is a plus.
Yeah.
But I wanted to add years to my life that I took away, especially during the years of addiction. So that was kind of my biggest battle, was constantly trying to just keep myself on the right path, but building myself up. It wasn't until years later that I decided I wanted to be as strong as I could. It's a good deterrent for future boyfriends because I have 3 daughters. But it's also really cool being the buffest dad at the school.
Yeah.
Until this guy walks in. But it was huge for me because I wanted to apply that to the gym too. I always did chase aesthetics before that, try to be huge or really cut, lean. As I got older and as I'm getting older, I just want to be healthy. I want to be mobile. I want to be heart healthy. Biggest thing ever is heart healthy. I want to see my kids grow into adults and have their own kids. Biggest factor is my dad. My dad is living a decently healthy life, but I want to do the exact opposite of what he's been doing. And I think I'm on the right path. There's some things we have in common, but that's the biggest drive of that is I'm just trying to be here for them for the longest time.
Yeah, that makes sense. I guess this could also be for you, Lathan, because I'm kind of curious now because it's I feel stupid saying like I don't want to be as big as possible. Of course, you want to be as big as possible if you can.
I mean, it's kind of cool.
Looks, yeah, exactly. Usually, I'm not the smallest guy in the room.
No,
but I am today. So
you're amongst peers. It's fine.
I like it. But when people come into the gym, they have no idea. They just want to work out, and I think most of the mindset is, I'm here to get muscle. How do you guys find a way to tailor for what they really do need?
Well, I think to answer that, there's I always tell people when people walk through the door. In the last several years, I've dealt with the 3 Ds of people's life. It's either death, a close family member died, or a friend, and they want to live longer. They want to be healthier for their family and friends. 2 is divorce. Unfortunately, they want to get their life back, straighten themselves out. or diabetes, which goes alongside with obesity. They find themselves doing something they shouldn't be doing. They're feeling terrible. They want to make that change. So when they come through the door, that's why we built the building the way it is we wanted it to be welcoming to everyone. So whether you're 18 trying to figure it out, or you're 65 and you can't move right and you don't know where else to go, you walk through that door. There is a bunch of like different skills and tools we have for you. It's not just one thing. The other thing is I always ask them, what brought you here? And usually they tell me, well, we found you online and all the pictures look great and we've seen the reviews. You guys have great stories, and it looks like there's a wide variety of different fitness levels here. It's not just your super strong power lifters, or your athletic CrossFitters, or your obnoxious bodybuilders. No offense, bodybuilders. I'm just saying you guys kind of stick out like a sore thumb.
I'm a former one. I'm a recovering bodybuilder.
They see that and they love it. They find it welcoming. I mean, it's kind of why, yes, Kodiak is in the name, but I just chose strength because strength applies to everyone in different forms. I didn't want to go with stronger words such as like there's a gym called Untamed Strength. It's one of my favorite gyms actually in California. I've never been there, but I've been following his story forever. Just love what they do. But he's expressed it too, where verbally the name kind of draws different people away. Or such as like power. Power is pretty strong, right? You don't it caters to certain crowds. I mean, even like there's a gym down the road. It has a status in its name, and I don't even know if I should say it or not, but I'll just leave it down as
you can say it and I'll bleep it out. That way I know what you're talking about.
Okay, that's perfect. It has in the name, and that kind of makes it feel like only top tier can come here, and that really makes people not feel welcome. The other thing is we didn't want it to be like an Instagram model gym, and I don't mind if people have tripods. They want to show their physiques or take photos, videos, whatever. That's fine. But we didn't want it to be the primary focus. And truth be told, people who are doing that don't have money. So they're not really our clientele. We do have an exclusive clientele here.
Okay.
If you spent a day on the wall, you would be surprised the amount of like status that walks through that door. There's unsung heroes from government to CEOs and high-end companies that come here, entrepreneurs that are developing the new best thing, and your average Joe. But they just, it's a different environment here. We've been described as a networking gym. And I thought that was really cool because somebody told me, you don't get the douchey vibe here.
Yeah.
I don't even see meatheads in here. And everyone in here has something that I could use or learn from. And I thought that was really impressive. So we just keep trying to do that.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. So when people come in here to work out, they also start meeting each other and networking.
Yeah. I mean, it's become like a full networking.
We're literally a community of a gym. Yeah. So it's a community and strength is in the community, right? So like, you come in for one thing, end up learning something different about somebody or getting to know somebody that helps move you on to something different too.
Better watch that slogan. That's from a gym down the road.
Oh.
It's a great gym, though. Actually, you wouldn't have to bleep that gym. I think they would love us talking about them. They're great. It's
when you mentioned
shout out to Lift ATX.
Lift ATX. Yeah. They're good people, man. Yeah. That place is. That's like when you go there, it's like feeling like home too. It's a cool place.
Okay, that's cool too. I mean, I've always think about these like local gyms. If you guys have like competition between each other, where like if you mention another podcast name on here, I'm gonna bleep it out.
Yeah,
the kind of thing. I'm just kidding, unless I like them. But no, like
Joe, no.
Who?
Yeah, who?
No, you can. I'm kidding. I always say it's just a recurring joke because podcasts are everywhere. So there's always one that gets dropped, and I go, "That's the competition work." I'm bleeping it up, but I don't.
If it makes you feel better, I don't know any other podcast except for that one because I see reels on Instagram. That's it. I don't listen.
No, I'm just
it's kind of terrible.
No, but I've always felt like the local gyms would have that kind of competition between each other, but at least the podcast is based in San Antonio. I've interviewed a couple of different people from different gyms, and they all seem to be, or at least know each other, or to be in a good area or a good space with each other. But I don't know everybody. So I don't know how the feel is up here, but you just shouted out somebody else. So
I tend to run into a lot of people, but it's I think powerlifting helped me do that because I would go to gyms to compete, and then when people found out we opened a gym, it spread a little bit more. So I'd like to think that if someone knows my name, at least hopefully it's a good thing.
Yeah,
but it's usually goes back to powerlifting. So,
and I think the name Kodiak Strength, like it's very unique. At least with the Kodiak, like I don't think
we're the only gym in the nation named Kodiak Strength Training. Even just Kodiak Strength. There's Kodiak Barbell. They're an equipment place, and there's Kodiak flooring. they make gym flooring. Yeah.
Isn't there an ice chest named Kodiak, or am I wrong?
I think yes, and then there's also Kodiak Cakes, which is a great waffle, by the way.
No, but I've never heard it for a gym. I think I've only knew the ice chest, none of the other things. So definitely a very unique name, and it's such a to tie it in with your background. That's really cool.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
No.
I even got it tattooed on my arm.
I've been staring at it this whole time. Yeah. I've been staring more of that than your face, honestly.
It's kind of one of those things, right? If you actually, somebody asked me, why would you get your company logo on you? And I'm like, it's a lot more than that than me, to me. But also, I don't know, man. Maybe for me, it's like, it's that good.
Yeah.
Like, I think we've done a lot, but I couldn't do it. I'm kind of sad that she's not sitting here with us. I couldn't have done it without my wife. Like, she's had my back since day one. Mm-hmm. And anytime that this place needs something, I mean, she's on it. Like, it just gets done. And there's never a time where you can go, wait, did we forget to do that? She's like, did it yesterday.
Nice.
So if she wasn't here, a lot of this wouldn't be done.
Yeah, I respect that. My wife, she doesn't watch any of these episodes, but she'll share them out, and she's easy to critique, or she's quick to critique on stuff that I mess up. It's like, this is where you got to do, this is where you got to be better at, and you got to enunciate more. So she's always, good on our wives for helping us out.
Strong support systems.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Because I definitely, I'll forget everything.
Weren't you saying Anna's really lucky to have you? Something like that earlier.
She is lucky to have me. But at the same time, I'm more blessed to have her.
Hope she watches this. Edit that out where he said yes and then just cut it.
I'll do it.
Yeah,
I'll make it a clip. It's on standing clip.
2 Hard Too Fast episode Kodiak, and then just lead with that and then cut it out.
I'll caption it. Husband messes up.
Actually, just edit that part and just send it to her directly.
Just tag her.
Or luckiest wife on the planet.
And then tag her. Tag. So since you mentioned that your wife has helped you a lot, what are or have been some of the struggles into the gym?
Yeah, no, we so I went from a family-owned gym, and when we decided to start Kodiak, we had a client that was very gracious enough to let us start in his gym. We started with one squat rack, like 300 pounds in bumper plates, and a couple barbells, and that was it. And week by week, I put probably, I don't know, maybe like 70,000 miles on my truck in a matter of 6 months. I was going city to city, picking up Facebook Marketplace deals, just getting anything we could to build equipment, and looking for commercial space. So constantly just going and going. One of the biggest sacrifices she was making was working in childcare. She didn't want to. She got in it when we moved out here, so I could pursue the dream of being a coach and then owning a gym. So once the kids got old enough to get in public school, she then left and became part of the gym. But in the meantime of that, yes, I was running circles, trying to build this, get a name, get a place. We finally, after about 4 or 5 months, found a small space in this business park that we're in right now. But it was like a couple buildings over. It was only 900 square feet, and
tiny.
Decided that we're going to just kickstart it here. There was so much. If you go back to our Instagram and look through stuff, you'll see that we were crammed. Like, people didn't know how we did it.
Yeah.
And he followed me. He started with me. We recruited another coach, Coach Levi. I knew him for a while. And then Coach Eileen came in, and we just kept going. But it was like, Coach Michael, too. He came in. Before we knew it, we had like 6 people in that little room, and everyone was booked throughout the day, which was beautiful. Mm-hmm. And I was like, you know what? It's been a year, and we need to expand again. We need to do it. We need to go somewhere else. So I found this building. the same landlord, and I asked them what are they doing with it, and it took about another 4 months of negotiating and a lot of different money being pulled here and there, and we finally got it. We moved in October 23, and then October 24 we expanded again. We went from a garage to 900 square feet to 3,100 square feet, and now we have 8,500 square feet, and we've got 3 zones in this building where one is a barbell focused room, one is a weight and dumbbell room, like machine room.
Yeah.
The other room is a warehouse where you can do group classes, CrossFit activities, or Olympic lifts, whatever kind of your fancy is for that room. We even have a cold plunge and sauna. We have a podcast room. Yeah, we have a podcast room now. We have drip nutrition here. So we have a nutrition bar built in here. We're about to have a massage therapist here. But we wouldn't be this far if nobody believed in us.
Yeah.
And, you know, we have great people here. Like even Lathan has traveled with me to almost anywhere you can think of to go get equipment.
Yeah.
He's stayed up late with me, put in flooring, like lay out equipment on the ground, like paint walls. I mean,
I get that phone call. Hey, what are you doing on this day? I'm like, where are we going?
And you know what? We'll get to the best one, I think, that is probably one of the best encounters we ever had. But if we didn't have that behind us, people even like Lathan or my wife or our gym members and our closest clients helping us, I mean, we wouldn't be here. I mean, they believe in us. They want us to succeed. But it gives us more drive to not fail. And we have no room for failure.
Are you able to pinpoint like how you're gathering the support, people that believe in you, people that are even the clients? Because friends come in and friends are gonna help. Not everybody. There's some friends that are just gonna be like, hey, I support you, but from afar, maybe once you succeed.
So I guess with that, one thing I've learned is you will get more support from a customer or client than you would your own family. And maybe that might be, maybe it's just my position. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
it is a common theme.
I've had more clients and more friends or family now that we have made out here support us more than our own blood. And they see like a scenario would be last year, me and my wife were negotiating the terms to expand this building. And somebody overheard us. It was a close client. We were trying to keep it hush-hush, just between us. It's our business. We didn't want no one else to know. And he just so happened to walk in to come work out on his own, but he could hear us through the office door. And, he knocked on the door, and we didn't know he heard us the whole time, but he knew we were having a struggle. And it wasn't just financially. It was learning the, how can I put this, like the lease terms and negotiating properly with property management. And he stepped in because he's got like 30 plus years of being a broker. And he's like, let me see what you have. And I mean, within minutes, he figured it out. But he's like, I'm not here to hold your hand, but let me back you up. So it happens like that. It's almost organic.
Yeah.
And even our closest clients, they'll see that, for instance, the warehouse was beat up. It was not as pretty as it looks now. I have a GC client. He's a general contractor. And, I mean, one day we were just here, and a team of people showed up. And I was like, what is going on? And he's like, I'm fixing that room for you. I'm like, no, dude, I mean, it's okay. But, like, these people, they see it, and they know we're working really hard at it.
No,
right.
And it's kind of cool to, like, sometimes we feel like they don't see it. We try to, me and my wife try to hide that stuff.
Yeah.
We try to hide it because we want y'all to just enjoy the fruits of our labor. We want you to enjoy the end result. But some people can see it and they read it. But what the coolest part is all those people kind of started like us in their own department, their own industry. So it's nice to hear that they're like, hey, I was there, and I'm in a position now where I can give.
Yeah.
Right.
So we try to pay that forward to other people as well.
That's awesome. And I think that's what is probably the underlying thing here is that you're committed to what you're doing, and the people, what they are seeing is that the commitment and the fact that you care. Even with the people that you have around you and the other coaches you mentioned, that they're in it and they're paying it forward. I know Lathan at some point was talking about picking up equipment. I think this must have been early on because I was like,
yeah,
is this guy building a gym or what is he doing? He's like, oh, I can't hang out because of this. I'm like, This guy's building a gym.
Oh yeah, no, and then it'd be like sometimes with Art, he'd be like, "Hey, you want to do something?" I'm like, "No, I can't. I'm already over here. I can't. I'm already in Arlington doing something.
Yeah.
I gotta get this piece of equipment back over here. I'm exhausted. Let's move it to this time and stuff." He's the reason why. So he's my why.
Yeah, it all made sense after a while. After a while, at first I was just like, "What is this guy doing?"
Yeah,
but it makes sense, you know.
Yeah.
At what point did Lathan come in?
I met Lathan about 11 years ago when I came to Austin by myself. I wasn't with my wife yet. We've been together 10 years. And I came up here to start the coaching thing, try to build myself up. During that year, I met him at GNC and told me about the gym he worked out at. And I was in there pretty frequently because I worked across the street.
Yeah, at the Billiards Factory.
Yeah,
at the time.
Billiard Factory. I was a pool table technician. But then I had to leave. My mom got sick, and I went home. But it was kind of weird timing, too, because, like, when my mom was getting sick, I started talking to my current wife. Like, we were just, like, talking on Facebook. We've known each other our whole life. But we drifted apart as friends. You know, everybody goes their own way after high school and stuff. But I was talking to her, and then we started going on little dates, and then I was like, you know what? God wants me over there because I do believe God puts you where you need to be when you need to be there, and I need to move back. My mom's getting sick. This girl wants me in her life. I want to be in her life. I need to move back. So I moved back. I didn't even keep in touch with you much, I don't think at all.
I just knew you came back into the store one day. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I think it was probably a year later after I moved. I came back, and then he was still there. And I was like, oh, shit. Hey, man, what's up? Like, But then we just kept going from there. But, yeah, I mean, he's been my friend ever since. He's one of my best friends. I mean, you know.
You got to make this all.
Yeah, well, my wife's my first best friend. Yeah.
I'll be your work husband. Fine.
That's okay. No diddy. But yeah, and then we just kept training together. Now, at one point, I'm gonna throw you under the bus. At one point, Lathan was really, really stronger than me, like, and much bigger than me.
Yeah.
And I got tired of that. I didn't like that, you know.
Yeah.
I was like, that ain't gonna fly, man. We ain't doing that.
That's not the case. I mean, it was, but like at the same time, you made it more of your own passion project in itself, while I was still making it recreational for mine.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we when he introduced me where he was working out, it was great community. We got to know the people there, and then I started working there, and that as a coach. And it turned out really great for a couple years. It really helped when I saw they expanded and they went to chase their dream. Kind of helped them with that. I just saw that, you know, they hit their dream, and it made me just realize I need to chase mine. I can't let mine die. And a client came up to me he worked with me for 3 years at the time, but then, like, it was funny. The first year, he was like, when are you going to open your own gym? I'm like, man, I'm good here. You know, I like being here. Finally, when we got to the next step, he goes, so you're going to let me help you open the gym or what? Like, and helping me was giving me the space, and that's where it started. But, yeah, Lathan's been with us every step of the way. I mean, his kids play with my kids, and, you know, we're just all one big family. So, yeah, it's just he's like that brother I didn't know I needed. Yeah. And for some reason, he's a different color. I don't know.
Just a different complexion of sorts. Just slightly darker.
How competitive do things get between y'all with strength training?
It's incredibly annoying.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's like the gap sometimes keeps on widening because I'm getting older.
Yeah.
And
excuses.
Yeah.
Wait, is there like a big? How old are you?
32.
Going to be 41 in
40
3 months. So, yeah, you're 32.
Hey, do the math. 93 to now.
Jamie, look that up. I mean, George looked that up. Wrong podcast.
I always remember I'm just
young
George. I'm 1 year younger than my wife, and I always ask her, how old are you? I do the one thing you're not supposed to do.
Oh, no.
And then that's how I figure it out.
My wife will test me. It's like, hey, just put my birthday in there. I know this.
Yeah.
32? All right, I'm 32, yeah.
Yeah. And then you started the gym 29? Like, that's when you started working on it?
3 years ago, we started Kodiak, March 2022.
Okay.
And it was, we started Kodiak in March 2022.
That's a big deal. I mean, that's cool. It kind of just like it seems like you've already lived another life, and then now you're doing, you're starting a new one.
I did. I would say I probably don't have the most relatable coming up. I did live like we weren't dirt poor. Mm-hmm. We just didn't have a lot. But my parents worked really hard. We just had a split household. And I mean, I kind of decided to do my own thing, but it's like because they kind of raised me to do that. And we ended up, I was raised by my grandpa too for quite a while till he passed. And then finally they, took me on. But like I found the streets first because they were working so much. I found family in the streets. I mean, I even joined like a small gang at one time. Got involved with a lot of drug usage. Mm-hmm. And then at a young age, I even got married very young too. I ended up getting married. I think I was 18 when I got married. Yeah. And we were both on a really too hard, too fast pathway, man. It was a lot. I mean, we did things that most people can't even fathom in a short period of time. I mean, there was a 5-year window of just hard drugs, psychedelics, alcohol. I worked construction too, so I was a bouncer at night. I don't even remember sleeping most times. I think I just passed out, woke up and did it again. But a lot of it was due to the fact that I found easy, fast money, and being the bag boy was easy, fast money. And then I figured out how to be the guy who gives it out, and it just kept going until I hit rock bottom a couple times, and then that one time was it. And then it was good though. It worked out great because I got to change my life. We ended a bad marriage, and she went her way, I went my way, which was better for both of us. And then I'm assuming, she's on her good path and found her stuff too, like I did. Yeah. We needed to do that. And it opened up a whole new chapter for me, and we just kept going. And then finally, a couple years fast forward, I ended up meeting my wife when I was 25. 10 years ago, 32, 22, almost 23. I was almost 23. And then, because we've been together 10 years, a little over 10 years. Yeah.
You started that with saying that it might be not relatable, but honestly, that the people that I've talked to, thanks to this podcast, who were out, somebody maybe listening will say they're successful, even though I will talk to people like y'all that are doing your thing and say, I don't feel like I'm successful yet. Like I'm still working at it. But from an outsider's perspective, you guys are successful because you guys are working at what you guys love or are enjoying it.
Right.
But a lot of them started, not a lot of them, several. I can at least maybe a handful of the people that I've talked to have started in a way of rock bottom. Like I was going, maybe not drug use. I have talked to people that have had drug use and changed it around. But people that are just struggling and have hit that rock bottom and were able to turn their life around. So it is a lot more relatable than it is because everybody's rock bottom is different.
Yeah. Right. And then it also goes to, like, it gives you a second chance at a dream that you may cultivate for yourself. Like there's been countless conversations when Ruben was training at the other gym. We would train together, or he would come in and between clients while I was working at GNC and be like, I want to do this. Like, this is something I have in mind. This is something I'm thinking about. This is something I want to do. And then, like, eventually, he just came in one day and, like, he had this, I know the look. He's like, I got this thing that I've already, like, I'm going to fucking do it. Yeah. And he's like, I want to open up a gym. And I was like, where we going? All right, cool. And it was just, and like he just said, this is what happened. Here's what I'm thinking. This is what we're going to do. And like just executing that dream. Because a lot of his drive now I see comes from some of the wisdom he's learned in his different life. Yeah. But he's just applying it in a better way, a more structural way, a more committed way to being passionate towards the good of what he wants to do. Right, and so it's inspiring in itself all the time.
Yeah, so, I'm still slinging kilos, just
well, just different kind.
Yeah, different kind of kilos. Yeah.
They're not white anymore.
I will say, having people around you like Lathan, he's one of the favorite people I've gotten to meet in my life. So I do want to say that, like, having the people around you that are in a like mindset are going to push you to be better, or to say shut up and do it.
Right.
That's definitely a blessing.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge to have a big support system around you, not just at home, but surround yourself with people, like you said, that are like-minded, because they're not going to waste your time. And I've cut off a lot of friends throughout this journey, a lot of family too, that I had to break the vicious cycle. Me and my wife come from very bad backgrounds. Put it this way, I've done everything but heroin, and she's done everything but
OnlyFans.
everything but and we both have our handful of stuff,
Which I'm not above right now.
And
I would,
but we
I would.
we just had families that had bad ways, and we decided for our kids that we're not doing that no more. And it took years to let go of some people, and even family is the hardest one to let go of, because they come and go. And I just got tired of getting the phone calls of, I need money, someone's in jail, or someone died. And it's like, I'm done with that, and we couldn't do it anymore. So having good people like Lathan, even like George here, now I met you, you're a good guy too. But the other George behind the scenes here, and his family, it's been wonderful having them around us, because like we get to meet all these people and work together to build this place. So when people say like, how'd you build Kodiak, or why Kodiak, I'm like, it wasn't just me. This room we're sitting in right now was thanks to that young man over there.
Dude, yeah.
I just gave him the space and told him, I was like, here's the car, here's the keys, figure it out.
Yeah.
And he's done wonderful in here.
Yeah, this place is amazing. I was telling him we started bonding earlier with he just said, what editing software you use, and we just boom. I was like, I stopped setting up, and we were just over there talking.
I know San Antonio's a drive, man, but you're more than welcome to come by anytime.
Thank you.
I think if you ever have another Austin person that wants to do it and y'all are lacking space, I think George would be open to it too. This is here, and this is one of the Kickstart things. It's funny. This is the first podcast ever recorded. Well, no, you did something.
That was an unofficial.
We did this. Yes, I wanted to give him something back, because he has helped me a lot through this building. I'm not very tech savvy, but he is. And one of the things we wanted to do was even get like the members in here to start giving their stories. What made you want to change your life? Why Kodiak, and why do you stay here? Things like that. So this is a cool little kickstart to that. This is great. I'm glad we were able to do this.
No, I'm glad. I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad I got to meet all of you. Even George out here. I feel like he should come into the camera so people can see a face. But
White George,
he's not that white. That's George.
There he is. Squeeze in. There he is.
Yeah.
I was going to say something else. Well, I will say before we're coming closer to the end, but I want to say we were talking off camera about cussing. I was like, can we cuss on this podcast? I was like, yeah. 40 minutes in, he's the only one that has cussed on the podcast.
You're terrible.
Oh, that's bullshit.
I was about to share a great story about you too. We missed it earlier. We drifted. We got too personal and sentimental. We were talking about equipment, and I was going to tell you one of the best encounters we ever had. I called him, and I go, what are you doing on this date, this time? And he's like, I got to work. And I'm like, no, you fucking don't. He's like, why? What are we doing? I go, you want to go meet Ronnie Coleman? And he's like,
I saw that.
He's like, you're bullshitting me. I'm like, no, I'm serious. And I'm like sending him screenshots of the conversations I had with Ronnie Coleman, that I purchased a piece of equipment from him. It was the most random shit. I was sitting on my back patio. My kids and wife went inside to go to sleep. It was like 11 p.m. I was having a fire, still having a cold beer, and just hanging out. My phone dings like someone's live on Instagram. It's Ronnie Coleman, and I'm like, fuck it, I'll watch it. And maybe he was drinking, I don't know. But he's sitting in his gym, and he's just like, I'm selling my house, I'm downsizing, I'm selling all this equipment, and he's like, I'm going to sell this, pans the phone. And the funniest part though, he's like, you can reach me at Mr. 8 Olympia at AOL.com. And I'm like, AOL, bro.
I'm like, bro, you're old.
When internet would kick on, just rung in my head. Like, I'm like, that buzzing noise, dude, get rid of that. But I said, you know what? Screw it. Shot in the dark. Sent them an email. Introduced myself, small intro, gave him my phone number, said I was a huge fan. I'm interested in that piece of equipment. It's the Pec Fly that's on our gym floor. I get a text within 10 minutes. It's late, mind you.
Yeah.
And we're just texting each other, shooting shit for the next 2 hours. Like we knew each other.
Yeah.
Well, then we set it up and call him. We drive all the way out there, and we go to Metroflex, and we work out, kind of get the experience and the history there. Great gym. Finally, Ronnie lands on a plane, tells us he's going home, meet him at his house. It was like one of those moments, like you're walking up to his house, and you're like, we're actually fucking here, bro. Yeah. Like, we're at this dude's house. Right. One of the greatest bodybuilders in history. We're at his front door.
Well, about that email, too. So, my perspective on it was he literally had sent the email, screenshotted the email he had sent to him, and I just kind of glossed over it. And, again, it's late at night. I'm already, like, I just came back from either working or I was dealing with something else, and I had already had my couple of drinks, and I was like, oh, cool. And I put my phone off, and I didn't think about it after that. And then it was all about 6 weeks?
We waited a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was traveling to Dubai.
Yeah. Then he gives me the call, and he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, you're lying. Like, stop. We're not going to Arlington. We're not going to Ronnie Coleman's house. And then he sends me the whole feed of screenshots. I'm like, I called my wife first.
I'm not coming home.
Yeah. I'm like, listen, I might not be home when you get home on Monday. She's like, who the fuck is Ronnie Coleman? And I'm like, all right, well, table that discussion for later. But, like, I'm calling, like, 2 employees. I'm like, hey, y'all have to be here on Monday or y'all are fired because I'm not working and all this. And I call my boss, and I'm like, hey, I'm calling in sick this day. Got Coco 19 of the lightweight baby proportion, that lightweight strand. And so, yeah, and then we get up there, and he's like, where's the house? He's like, I see that. Like, I'm looking, and I'm like, he drives Escalades. I'm like, that one right there. He's like, how do you know?
It was the only one on the block with Escalades.
He had 2, like, extra large size Escalades. I'm like, that's Ronnie Coleman energy right there. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a culture thing. It might be a culture thing.
I'm just saying, when it's old black people, they like to have the Cadillacs when they're successful.
You should have seen him at the door, though. He was like getting all excited. Like, he's like, gotta get my composure.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you're ruining it. Be cool. Like, and it's funny because, like, the door opened, and it was one of his kids that opened the door, but they were behind the door, so it looked like it opened by itself.
Yeah.
And he's like sitting 20 feet away, and I'm like, what is he, telekinesis? Like, what's going on? Like, you know, can't walk right, but he got his mind like to get stronger.
Just has, like, a pulley thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he was so cool, man. I mean, he was literally just hanging out in his living room, watched TV, welcomed us, had cool stories. I mean, we were hanging out there probably for a good hour and a half before we even moved the equipment. And finally, I was like, okay, we got to like go. You know, I mean, I love you, man, but like we've got a long drive back.
You still got to get it out.
And his wife kind of hinted to us too. She's like, he's tired, jet lagged, and we got to do family stuff. So get the hell out of my house. But it was so funny. We're trying to get this piece of equipment out of the world's smallest door. We actually got it out without disassembling it. But the entire way to the truck, like a whole 30 yards of carrying it, Lathan manages to step on every pile of dog shit on the way there. It's not one. It's like 8 of them, dude. Like every step. And it's funny because I'm walking backwards. I missed every one of them, and he just hit every one of them.
I'm like, dude, this is not
to put those shoes in the back of the truck. I was like, I am not. No. So if you actually go to our Instagram, you can see when we went to him. We took a picture with him. He actually signed the piece of equipment. So if anybody's ever on the gym floor, you look down, don't wipe it off. It has like 50 layers of clear coat on it. You won't get it off.
Yeah.
First of all, how did you get it off if you got it off?
Yeah, that's the thing. You were really trying.
Yeah.
But it says Mr. 8-time Olympia on it. He signed his whole signature on it. We actually took a lifter's belt with us. She couldn't make it. One of our gym coaches here and had him sign it for her too.
That's awesome.
So it was really cool. It was a good experience.
Yeah. It did one of my clients.
It's a shitty story too.
If you think about it.
Yeah, we took Jackson's belt. We took Jackson's belt too. Mm-hmm. So Jackson was one of my he was my first client ever, like day one client. And I remember when I first started training him, it was off the fly, but he was like, "Hey, do you know a guy named Ronnie Coleman?" I was like, "I've been watching his videos on YouTube. They're so amazing." And I'm like, internally, I'm like, he's 16. He doesn't know. He's just learning. He doesn't know. And I'm like, bro, I've been watching Ronnie Coleman like from like a tape trading days when he had VHSs out, and I turned into that old person all of a sudden.
You're showing your age.
I showed all my age. I was like, I remember the Muscular Development magazines from back in the day, the Flex magazines. There weren't YouTube clips. They were just, you saw them and you may have not seen them and stuff. So, but it was funny to see him get so hyped up about it. But I was like, yeah, man, that's Ronnie Coleman. He's like Jordan for basketball.
Yeah, that's pretty legit.
Is that a? Okay.
That's not the black thing. It's just a thing.
I want to say, but we, you know what? That was one of the coolest things, and it's funny because the local. Earlier we talked about other gym owners, known gym owners. I was getting texts and messages like, "How did you pull that off?"
Yeah,
I'm like, listen to his video, email him.
Yeah,
but it was that simple, and it's so cool though because like 5 other gym owners tried. And they didn't get it. They couldn't get in. And
I like tried to buy stuff from him.
He ignored him.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, that's kind of cool how that worked out, you know. And maybe it was just meant to be.
Yeah.
But I still have his number. Like he texts me on holidays. He'll say Happy Thanksgiving.
Oh dang.
And I'll text him Merry Christmas or whatever. But he responds back. I mean, he's cool, you know, and just another guy like us. Yeah.
He reminds me a lot of my my uncle. Like my grandma's brother that used to always go to his house, but he'd just have his one spot on the recliner, have his TV set to like watching Judge Judy or whatever daytime thing he wants to watch, but super chill, super cool, and very nice, very open, and has a really good demeanor about life. Always positive and highly energetic, but doesn't move unless he wants to move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We actually painted a mural in our barbell room of him. It says "Lightweight Baby" on it. It's him deadlifting.
Oh, it's
yeah,
on
yeah,
this
yeah.
side. On
So
this
whenever
one?
you do video or footage out there,
I'll get it.
my wife actually painted all the things you see on the walls.
Really?
She did those.
They're badass.
Yeah.
They're awesome. I would love to do this again. You know, if you're ever in the mood to hang out, I'm down. Like, I love doing this.
Yeah.
And I love meeting people. So
Yeah, I think next time we can have Allie here. That way she can kind of share a little bit of her story and she can tell you all the shit she's put up with me. You know? I'm serious, man. Bless her, because like even with powerlifting, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be able to compete and do what I do. And I'm taking a break now because of the gym. Gotta focus on business development. But yeah, if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't even be sitting right here right now.
nice. No, that would be awesome to meet her or to have her on here. Three more things and one quick one. I do want to know, like, since you had that injury and you were, you know, trying to pretty much walk again, does that ever come back and do you still feel it while you're working out?
So it's not a matter of pain coming back. When I got the injury, I actually had, like, from the top of the hip all the way down to my ankle was numb. And the muscle was starting to atrophy. It was a construction incident on a piece of equipment, and I got pinned between the ground. It flipped over. I got stuck in the ground. Luckily, the ground was muddy, and I was able to get out of it. But the only thing that's left now is right here, and this is the only numb spot on my leg. And it's like the top layer.
That's forever numb.
It's forever numb. But it can be treated. I've only found one person that's been able to treat it with dry needling and electric, like shock needling. They'll put the needles in here.
Oh yeah.
And when they're giving those signals, the spot has shrunk. It used to be bigger.
Okay.
But it's shrinking. It's like waking up those nerves. I haven't had that treatment in the last couple of weeks, so it's still kind of bothering, like there, like the numb. I only ever feel it if I kneel down to tie my shoe. I don't feel it lifting or doing my everyday or no. I think it's just because it was years ago.
You feel it like you're placing your knee on the ground. That's why.
Yeah, like because it feels numb.
Yes.
So it just feels like a piece of like I don't know, just
no,
obstruction.
I know. I kind of know what you mean because I had a knee surgery when I was in high school. Long story short, I kind of messed up my leg. Didn't break it or anything, but I think cracked a little bit. My body formed like a sack around it, and it just started protruding. And one day, I tore the tendon, so they had to go in there and take it out. But so the scar there, like whenever I do kneel down, I feel that. That's the only time I feel it. It's
a little phantom pain.
Yeah, like it's weird. Like it just feels different than the rest of my body.
It's so weird what injuries can do because this was, like something heavy that pinned me. but this one I got stabbed, and nothing is numb. Like it feels great. I left it alone.
Who the heck stabs a knee?
When you're a bouncer, shit happens.
Okay.
They're working from the ground up to try to get you.
My wife's the only one that gets close enough to my face, but over the years they've healed up, and she's given me stuff to like put on my face. I used to have a bunch of scarring here too. Like people, they get too drunk and they just think they like
they're stronger than they are.
The best line is always, "Do you know who my dad is?" I don't care who your dad is. Get out. Like, but some people just, they pull out their keys, they pull out a knife, they pull out anything they can because they're just drunk, and those.
Too hard.
I could give you a whole segment on that. I used to bounce at a club in Houston, I could give you a whole segment on that. And I mean, they had hip hop night, gay night, ladies night, EDM night, and furry night. So interesting stories there.
Kind of going back into the gym and the journey in it. Whenever you do become or get into a struggle point or things get hard. Besides the people around you, more mentally, more just you, how do you push yourself forward to kind of just get over that mental, like, should I still be doing this, or is this where it ends? Kind of, how do you get that out of your mind?
So that never goes away. That is constant. So to earlier, we said, on Instagram, it looks like it's peachy. Things aren't always peachy. Running a business is hard. I always tell people being the coach is the dream. Running a gym is a nightmare. And it's because your family goes from 5 to 100 and then 150 and then so on and so forth. So you're constantly keeping them happy, which is hard to do. When I get to this point, I think of two things. Number one is prayer. I go to prayer and I ask God for what I need. Now, everyone who is a believer. God doesn't give you what you exactly asked for. I'm the worst. You ask for patience, you are going to get 10 things that are going to break, and you need to have patience. You ask for strength, you're going to get things that hit hard. Second thing I always think of is my kids, just because they're my why. They're why I do everything I do. Every decision I make is, how is this going to affect them? Every time I feel like I want to get through that if that self-doubt is hitting hard, I think about them too, because I need them to have a legacy, and I'm trying to build that for them. So those two things keep me going, even in the hardest days.
Nice. Lathan, same question. In your coaching, or just in your personal life, how do you just keep going? Also, how do you keep that good attitude? You have every time. I know you've gotten mad. I know you've gotten frustrated, but for the most part, your attitude is more on the positive end.
It's almost cringy.
It can be cringy from time to time. I'm like, dude, why am I like this?
Why don't you just slap somebody?
I mean, for me, like, I've always, like, working as much as I have with people, whether it be, like, here in the gym, or working like my service jobs growing up and working in communities, like you see a lot of people, and like there was one thing that used to always be told to me when I first got into one of my sales jobs at 24 Hour Fitness a long time ago, was like, sometimes you're just gonna have people that are gonna come in and like they're gonna just have the worst day in the world. You don't know what happened in their life before they walked into the door. Make sure they leave at least with something that's gonna positively motivate them to keep going. And so, or at least leave them with a smile. Like, it's absolutely free to be angry at the world, but it's equally as the same cost is to give somebody some positivity and like let them smile for a moment at a time. They may be having the worst day in the world, but at least when they can look back on some of the brighter days in that darkness, like you were a positive light in it, insightfully. And so that's always helped me to still try to be encouraging in times where, like, there's always like I'm optimistically too optimistic sometimes. Like, I'm always trying to find at least like, well, I'm not, it could be worse kind of guy. And I'm like, yeah, it could be worse, and it could be a lot better, but right now we're in the reality we're in. And that's where sometimes I have to tell myself too, is like, yeah, like, listen, like, you know, there's some struggles that you may be doing, or you're finding frustration with trying to progress this client in this mode, or like I'm finding frustration at a performance that I'm trying to get, because Ruben can lift not 800 pounds off the ground. Why can't I lift 800 pounds off the ground? And like at the end of the day, it's like the reality is it just is what it is right now. You haven't gotten there yet, so we got to focus on being more solution oriented and driven, as opposed to just sulking in the problem. Like, okay, we already know the problem, so what's your solution to it?
No.
And we got to and realistically, that's the best way I've learned how to sustain my positive outlook, is because I know that I have to, if I don't get it done, it's not going to get done. And if I spend more time sulking about it, it won't help me get there any faster. So, like, I always jokingly tell, like, my daughters when they cry sometimes, I'm like, you got 5 minutes. Like, I'll hear you out, you can vent. Like, I'll set the timer, even with my wife. I was like, I'll set a timer, 10, 15 minutes, get all the venting and bitching out yourself. You know the problem, you've acknowledged it, let's move on. Like, let's be more goal oriented, because that's when we can actually make a change that's for the better. And, you know, like, because life sucks for everybody. Like, everybody's got a thing. This is your thing, and let's try to figure it out and fix it. It's fine. Like, we still got life to live, so we got the rest of our lives to talk about how this could have been worse. But right now, let's try to make it better.
Nice. Well,
yeah.
I'm gonna need 5 minutes after this.
I'll set the timer.
He's gonna need a whole day after his 24 hours.
And you can go ahead and slap it. It's been past 5 minutes.
I'll be like, hey man, you still got another set. Let's just go ahead and lift this real quick. Yeah.
We're gonna end this podcast with a too hard too fast story. Your too hard too fast story. Either a funny story that's either happened in your journey in life, journey in the gym, words of wisdom, or a cautionary tale, whatever you feel comfortable with sharing.
Man, that's a hard one. Anything that's too hard too fast would be from the past, but if I could apply that to what we're doing today, I would say that, you know, I know your whole stick here is to slow down, and that is a big thing a lot of people don't do. Back in my younger days, I know I'm not that old, but I always tell people, look, I lived really fast and really hard. I would say don't think you're missing out on something, because that's what I was doing. I always felt like I was missing out on something, which got me involved with drugs, got me involved with the wrong people, and it made me who I am today. I'm not ashamed of it. There's a lot of things that I've done that we probably can't discuss on here. I think there's only 3 people on this planet that know most of it, but it's one of those moments too that's made me realize that try to be patient, and I apply that with the business every day. And like he said, some people come through the door, they had something really bad happen beforehand. We have that here
all the time.
I do my best to think, you know, Ruben, you had a really shit week once upon a time, and you had one last week. Literally, our septic tank went out. That's a shit week.
Oh, yeah.
But it's, you know, I try to apply that here in the business, where I try to remember that everyone might have an attitude, but what happened outside of here? Be humble, and you can ask them, are you okay? That's a big one, and not everybody asks that. Yeah. So nobody ever asked me, you know, and I try to do that with other people. But I would say that one thing about the business development side when it comes to a little too hard, too fast is don't bite off more than you can chew, and be realistic, make like real number goals, and don't try to think that like, don't have the maybe mindset. You got to have the definitely mindset. And that's one thing that doing this gym we have done is, no, that's happening tomorrow. That's happening today. It's not maybe, like, no, we don't run on maybes here.
Yeah.
I try to tell people,
run.
Yeah. You see me running, you better be running. You know, I try to tell people, like, it's even with your training. Don't think, well, maybe I'll train tomorrow. Like, maybe I'll do this. No, I'm going to do this. Yeah. And, you know, if anybody's in your way, you got to let them go. Yeah. And cut the cancers out, too. I mean, because that's one of the things too, is I know sometimes it gets where you're cutting friends out, longtime friends. I've had to do it. And you think like, oh, what if I'm reacting too fast? My emotions are high. Sometimes you've just got to do it.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the business side, definitely take a moment to slow down, weigh all the options, think of the pros and cons. Also, think of how much can you carry, because if you're trying to do family, be a husband, be a good friend, I don't know, be a good gym owner, be a good coach, it's a lot of hats to wear. So you do need to slow down. Don't just start saying yes. Don't be a yes man. Excuse me. Being a yes man is the worst thing you could do as a business owner.
It's exhausting.
I told you earlier, my gym has become a networking gym. There is a handful of clients I work with that they mentor me in business development and personal development. And I'm teaching them how to be a little healthier, how to move better, be stronger physically.
Yeah.
A little mentally too, because there's things they don't want to do, you know. But if you can't learn, you got to remember, they're not too old to learn and you're not too young to teach, and it goes both ways.
Right.
So I would say, yes, do your best to not be a yes man, and don't let your mouth overweigh your back, because that can get out of hand. That can get out of hand real quick. You could wake up tomorrow and all of a sudden this whole place will be gone because you made one mistake because you acted too fast. And as far as like anything kind of, I think if you were trying to plan for the future, don't plan weekly or monthly. I would say plan maybe like 2 years. I don't know how to say that in a nice word, like a weird fancy word, but you know, but because when I did this gym, I started thinking the 5-year plan, and it's also because we're on a 5-year lease, and there's an X number that it's going to cost to run this place, and I have to make this number to come out on top in 5 years, not next month, not at the end of the year, not quarterly, none of that crap. Like, it's got to be, where are we going to be each year to meet that total in the next 5 years? And if you can't do that, and if you can't recruit people to help you, because it does take a village, you're not going to get anywhere far.
Yeah.
You are going to go too hard, too fast, and you are going, it will fail. It will fail. I know there's always that one person that's like, well, no, you got to act now, do this. And it's like, you know, that's cool. Sounds great on the internet.
Yeah.
Sounds really cool. Do you own a business?
Yeah.
No. Then shut up. And this is the funny story. So now funny. I had someone call recently. They try to sell me on their product, where basically they could help gyms grow. They can get you X amount of members, you know, help you basically increase your revenue. And he goes, hey, I'm going to be honest with you before you hang up. This is a sales pitch. And I go, that's bold. You know what? I'll listen. I go, okay, shoot, man, go ahead. He goes, I'm calling because we have a company that does that. We increase revenue. We can get you 300 members by next month. Like, we promise it, or no paybacks. Like, he just started going. And I told him, I go, okay, well, I'm going to be honest with you. Can you handle it? He goes, sure. I go, you don't know what you're fucking talking about. And he's like, what? I go, have you ever owned a gym? He goes, well, no. I go, okay. Do you know what kind of gym I am? Mind you, this is before we expanded. And he's like, well, yeah. I mean, I Googled your strength gym. I go, so you didn't even do your research. Can I give you constructive criticism? He's like, yes. I go, you need to do more research, because I'm an oversized studio right now. I have 3,100, 3,200 square feet. I have a couple coaches in here. We're primarily appointment based. And you're trying to sell me something that I can't even cater to. What am I going to do with 300 more members?
Yeah.
What am I going to do with 50?
Yeah.
So I told him, I think you need to do more research. You're acting too fast. You're coming on like way too hard. The sell is there, but you're not really doing it. And I told him, I think that, you know what I'm going to do for you? I'm going to give you 3 gyms and their info, and I want you to call them, because I think you could help them. And I think if you didn't just come in full throttle, they'll listen to you. You can even name drop me. Tell them, Ruben from Kodiak Strength told me to call you. He thinks I can help you. You might not even need my help, but maybe you can help me go to another, like, get another customer. Give me some guidance. I was like, because they've been in business a lot longer than me. But I was ending it with that. And I told him, so man, maybe just like get your shit together before you start calling people. And he hung up on me. Like I gave him the information too. I gave him all the gyms, and I told him, I'm just going to leave you with that, man. Just like get your shit together before you start doing this. And he hung up, and I'm like, motherfucker, like I helped you, bro.
Yeah.
But it's one of those moments that I think open to constructive criticism. You need it. It's going to help you. Some of it's hard. It's bittersweet. But you'd rather have like the bitterest truth than the sweetest lie, especially when it comes to growing your business.
Yeah.
So that's my take on it. Like you need to be open to that.
Yeah, I accept that. That sounds perfect. Yeah. That is perfect. And with that said, thank you guys for the episode, for your time. I know that's very valuable. This was fun, and I would love to do it again.
It's been a blast.
Yeah, I think we should do a part 2.
Yes. Yeah. It's on camera, so it's legal.
Yeah. We'll do part 2. I can give you some bouncer stories.
I would love them. Next time we can just talk about whatever.
Yeah. I'll leave you with this little outro. Throwing out a grown man dressed as a parrot is the funniest shit in the world.
And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we've gone too hard, too fast here at Kodiak Strength in Austin, Texas. Check them out. Oh, where can people follow, and what's the address?
You can find us on Instagram, Kodiak Strength, at Kodiak Strength, sorry, and on Facebook. We actually have a YouTube channel that we live stream powerlift meets. We have 3 scheduled throughout the year, every year now going forward. We're a big affiliation with the USPA, and you can find us west of Austin near Belterra and Dripping Springs, and we are at 14141 West Highway 290, Building 700.
Yes. And with that said, Lathan, thank you very much.
It's always a pleasure, George.
Ruben, great to meet you.
My hands are sweaty, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Remember, slow down, enjoy the moment. Bye.
Okay. Where's that intro?
Hey, this is George with Too Hard, Too Fast, and it's too fucking cold.
It's okay with splashes.